Hey,
It didn't quite feel like putting her to sleep. Unless you mean
it's
permanently.
true.
Or is he trying to eat all the air around her? Make her pass out.
Possibly.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Justin, and we are here with another episode of Frieren. Why don't you go ahead and regale us with what happened last time?
Fights. A whole bunch of fights. Reveals of Warble's backstory. Think I got the name correct.
Wirbel.
Correct. And then there was also many moments that revealed the difference between magic's powers, distance of use, things. Your favorite group, after being tricked, still ended up staying around because of a very conveniently timed bird being caught. And we ended off with a bit of a lore dump, giving us our first real outside of introduction to a character that we've seen. Don't know their name yet, but they are apparently the head of this magical organization. And we are now having a fight between Denkin and Frieren and his protege, Richter, which is totally on the nose, and the two arguing mages that Frieren had been paired with. Which I'm starting to possibly think that Frieren was paired with those mages in order to make it less likely for her to succeed.
Well, we know she's being targeted, so at least by the second stage proctor, which indicates that here's the confusing bit. They're saying in their conversation, Denkin is likely to succeed, or he will succeed, they say.
Yeah.
But it's the second stage proctor who says, "How dare you give me a target that's so hard to track?" So, we're still in the first stage. So literally they say, Frieren ain't getting out of the first stage, and the second stage person is complaining that they have a hard target to track, which, I guess one person's being confident that they're going to take them out, and the second person is complaining because they think they're going to succeed.
It seems like it.
Anyway, just before we recorded, you were also saying something, so I just want to make sure before we get too far and forget.
Or the individual that we've seen in the chair who apparently can just grant you any spell. If there is going to be a final fight, from what we think, she is a very likely candidate.
I'll say that I'm still disagreeing with you on this, and I think what's probably likely to happen is that if we do manage to finish the examination arc, as it were, by the episode 28, what I imagine would happen is that we're not going to fight that person. We're going to talk to them, and they're going to give some sort of reveal, which will then, cliffhanger us into a new season. I guess for anybody out there who may have watched our Heavenly Delusion reaction, I'll tell you, Heavenly Delusion has this whole storyline trick that goes on that left me and Griffin wondering the whole time, where we couldn't tell if two different stories were being told to us at the same time, or one story was from the past and one story is from the present, because they're both happening congruently in the anime, and the two stories don't really meet until later on, nearest the end, and we figure it out. But it's still something major that happens near the end that is a major cliffhanger, and it's like, well, what happens now? And it's like, well, it's the end of the story, so. But there's going to be more. I don't know, maybe I'll end up watching Heavenly Delusion with you as well, because I understand that there's going to be another season, and I have to know. Just have to know. and I want to watch it, and I'm not gonna go off watching it on my own if I've already cliffhangered a whole channel.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's the feeling I get from this anime is that they're gonna win. She's going to confront, and she's gonna say something, and then we're gonna get this big reveal of, do you really want to know what happened to the Demon King, or something crazy and something crazy narratively is going to happen, and not
Got it.
crazy. Haha! You finally tracked me down. Cue battle music. Because I don't know, there's something
Got it.
in me that feels like fighting is the least you can do with a story. It's the most fun I can have in a
Understood.
D&D narrative. It's the least fun I think I can have in a show narrative. Because when you're fighting,
Yeah,
you're
I see what
not
you're saying.
talking, you're not exploring the world, you're not telling me anything new. I already know people can lift their hands and carry shit, and that they can do things like that and hurt one another with those things. That doesn't
Yeah,
build anything new for me.
fair enough.
Unlike with these magical battles where we're learning new things about magic, and this is different. I appreciate this has been a build-up of learning, and the combat here feels like the explosive payoff versus
Yes.
filling scenes with combat that don't mean anything. It's my biggest complaint when it comes to Gundam, for example. The fight scenes don't tell us anything about the world.
I see that.
Anyway, I believe you had other thoughts that I interrupted you with to make sure that we remembered this one from before the recording.
Don't think I don't think there is many other thoughts. Like I think right now we are just getting that payoff and seeing the different variety of types of magic.
Well, it's Richter versus the Tube, Denkin versus
Correct.
Frieren, and the other girl
Yep.
has just run off with the friggin' bird. But can be tracked
100%.
because
But
she
I
leaves
think
a mana
it's gonna.
trail behind her.
Yep. Yeah. So I think it's either going to be tracked or a bird is going to get itself intentionally caught by Frieren after in order to keep her in the running.
You mean the wordable thing?
Yep.
I don't know. I think that would be bad. And that would be bad because we did it
Oh
once.
no. So I mean like a bird is going to not be surprised, which I think is horrible, because there was two of them that were so drained that it didn't sense them. I think it's going to get intentionally caught, because she's mentioned Frieren as a target.
Even then, I still think that would be bad. Only because it would. I mean, it would be the same thing, but for a different reason. Which is to say,
Yeah,
oh, we saw somebody lose. Oh, they got a bird. Oh, we saw somebody lose. Oh, they got a bird. It drives in
I
that
see what you're saying.
losing doesn't mean anything unless you're freaking dead like the other people.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with you, but I think it's a possibility.
well, yeah, I mean everything's a possibility. I guess technically not everything's a possibility. It's that old the quote that Rafferty says all the time. If anything is possible, then nothing is interesting.
You're
It's
not
like,
wrong.
it's like starting a D&D campaign, but all you have is wish spells. You know,
That would be a nightmare.
well, I guess technically you could do that. You could just start a campaign with everybody has a deck of many things.
Oh no.
Call that one episode D&D.
Yep.
Any final thoughts before we head into this?
No.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started then. But before
Oh, yeah.
that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. Just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure. It's all to support the channel, Just a little bit extra. Okay, random flashback.
Yep.
Yeah, they do know her.
Oh.
I said she would know her.
久しぶりだな、フランメ。
So to be Flame's master. So that symbol behind her is also the symbol that was in front of the maid school. You remember the very first episode we recorded today?
Yep.
I don't remember what the symbol is. So obviously it's like nondescript, like maybe like two wings with a line in the middle.
It looks like wings on a cross.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the cross thing because we can't, because it's wings and then the line, so the cross would have to be behind the wings. Anyway, not breaking down art right now. That was like the building we were talking about being like the very first image of the very first episode. You know, it had the sword thing on the very top of the building, but on the very bottom near the front had that symbol too.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense. Obviously, we know that they formed the place, but I have to wonder if that's ever been in anything we've seen so far that we could have put it together.
I wouldn't be surprised if it has.
So that also indicates some sort of relationship falling out. Because Flame took Frieren there. And then we had this whole fade out, like Frieren never came back. Because it indicates that this new elf, or old elf, was there the whole time. They didn't move. They didn't go anywhere. Frieren just never came back.
If this new person is somehow connected to demons, that would also explain why it's such an important fight with Flame.
Well, I mean, the indication seems like this was the person that taught Flame. Not the... I don't know. I can't... It's too fucking much.
100%.
He's gonna have ketchup packets, so I just put blood under my nose or something.
ねえ、どうしてそう思うの？
聞くほどのことでもあるまい。魔法というものは探し求めている時が一番楽しい。それだけだ。
そう。
時の流れというのは早いものだな。気まぐれで育てた弟子がもう孫弟子を連れてきよった。フリーレンだ。エルフか。強いな。気に入った。望む魔法を言うがいい。一つだけ授けてやる。
望む魔法。
私は今までの歴史で書かれたほぼすべての魔導書の知識を持っている。魔法使いというものは人生をかけて望んだ魔法を探し求めるものだ。
Did she turn her down here?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the indication. Yeah. That's why I said pass. It's also what Denkin was just talking about. That's why they're for real. I mean, that's why they're the same. I got the wrong part of that segment.
やはりダメだこの子は。野心が足りん。燃えたぎるような野心が。
先生、この子はいつか魔王を倒すよ。きっとこういう魔法使いが平和な時代を切り開く。
It also heavily implies that no one's making any new spells.
戦いを追い求めるあなたには魔王を殺せない。
Okay.
私たちじゃ無理なんだよ。だってさ先生、平和な時代に生きる自分の姿が想像できねえだろ。フリーレンは平和な時代の魔法使いだ。
Now I get the conflict between the two.
いいね。魔法使いはこうでなくちゃ。
See? And Denkin doesn't want to kill anybody either, so...
くそ、こいつ全然凍らねえ。魔力に差がありすぎる。ネフティア。
How to work together.
脆弱すぎる。
Well, there's no water. What's, That's all she can do. Without water around, it feels like.
派手に暴れたからな。大体の手の内は把握しているつもりだが。殺傷能力にかける氷の魔法に。
I don't know, it seems pretty lethal to me.
水がなければ戦えない魔法使い。
See, same breed I had.
やらされている。
Yeah.
これでは本当にガキの重りだ。
Okay, Gara.
言ってくれるぜ。派手な魔法使いやがって。あんたこそ魔力持つのかよ。
お前たちは魔法学校の出身だろう。老人たちは未だに防御魔法中心の消耗戦のやり方でも教えているのか？
どういう意味？
少し魔法師の
He's a glass cannon.
Well, remember, clearly he's not. He's been defending himself all this time.
そのものに対しては強い耐性を持つが、物質的なものに対する防御性能は昔とほぼ変わっていない。当然これには明確な理由がある。魔物や戦士の物理攻撃を防ぐには十分な防御性能だったからだ。防御魔法にオーバースペックはあってはならない。完璧を求めれば術式がより複雑化し、発動速度に致命的な影響が出る。魔法の歴史は攻撃と防御の歴史だ。だから現代の攻撃魔法は物質を操るものが主流になった。俺が何を言いたいのかわかるか？
I'm not gonna run out of mana if I just defeat
俺
you.
の魔法は物質による圧倒的な質量攻撃だ。そのまま眠っていろ。勘弁してくれ。痛めつける趣味はない。それともなんだ。やっぱり殺してほしいの
It feels like you could just isolate her in like a rock wall or something.
Yeah.
人の体の6割は水でできてんだぜ。
それがどうした？魔法というのはイメージの。
Oh man, we're gonna go into blood
人
bending.
の体にどう水が配分されている
That's
の
what I
か
thought
想像
was
できるの
coming.
か？それらを取り出して操るイメージは大量の魔力に守られている魔法使い相手にどうやってそれをやる？イメージできないものは魔法では実現できない。それに仮にこの場に水があったとしても、
Oh, I have a vivid imagination.
行為でも何でもない。
Oh.
はったりも聞かねえのか。嫌な大人だぜ。
That was a bluff.
でも一つ分かったことがある。嘘つ
I
いてん
think it
な。
was a bluff on her part, but it
公爵
opened
と
the
いう
eyes
男
of
と
the
戦
other
い好
one.
きなら水のある場所で私たちを叩きのめしているはずだ。何をそんなに怖がっている？
おとなしくしていろ。俺の役目はお前たちを寝かしつけることだ。電剣が負けない限りはな。
I have no idea how that monocle is staying in.
このままでは魔力を削られて終わるな。老体にはちときついな。悪いが早めに決着をつけるぞ。フリーレン。バルド・ゴーゼン。倒すドルグ。
Hi.
It doesn't quite feel like putting her to sleep. Unless you mean permanently.
It's true.
なんて戦い方しやがる。派手にやるな。
Or is he trying to eat all the air around her? Make her pass out.
Probably.
この結界は大魔法使いゼーリエが施したものだ。力技で破壊できるようなものではない。
そうか。ならいいが。
Who made the original barrier of that town a long time ago, by the way?
何のために
The one where
I
Aura
do
was
not
around?
know.
Was that Siri as well?
無駄な行為だ。この世に
Someone's been
税理を
analyzing the
使いいると思うか
barrier.
カタストラビア
I love that game.
バカな反撃だと絶え間のない光の矢だぞそのような隙なぞ
Oh shit.
Maybe you forgot I defeated the Demon King. What are you?
魔力切れここまでか信じられんこいつは最後まで基礎的な戦闘魔法しか使っていなかったこれではまるで見習い魔法使いに対する指導試合ではないか驚いたこれほどの高みに来てまだ上がいるとはな
ラオフェンの居場所を教えてお前ならわかるはずだシュティレを返してもらう
お前がわしの立場だとして教えると思うか
そうだね
Sorry, did she just slap him with the staff, or...?
Either that or kicked him.
ラオフェン近くに潜伏しているんでしょシュティレを持ってここに来て来なければデンケンを殺す
よせラオフェンこいつに
Like I said, I don't think she would.
わかるだろ
じいさんがやられた私よりもいやリヒターと比べてもはるかに格上の魔法使いだでも油断しているじいさんの体には触れていない
ジルベアは使うなそのまま潜伏し続けろ少しでも魔力を発すれば探知される
この距離ならじいさんを回
Yeah,
収して
no,
逃げられ
stand still, stay still.
罠だ
仕方がないかあまりこういうことはしたくないんだけど
And there we go.
バカが
It's the whole lesson from Warble's side, right?
未熟者
She wouldn't kill anybody unnecessarily. Preventing them from succeeding
でもあいつ
doesn't help her.
じいさんが死なない程度には痛めつけるつもりだったよ
それでもわしらが勝った
じいさんなんでそこまでして一級魔法使いになりたいんだよ富も権力も欲しいものは何だって持っているんだろ
To the north, though.
わしの故郷は北部高原の奥地でな
Yep.
Y'all tell me I talk over the show, but I understand the show.
魔法使いしか入れない久々に墓参りに行きたかったそれだけだガキどもを助けに行った方がいいんじゃないかもっとももう遅いかもしれんがなリヒターはお前と対峙する前に彼女たちを殺すそういう合理的な判断ができる男だ
それなら大丈夫だよカンネたちが勝つ結界の解析がちょうど終わった
I half expected she was going to give Denkin the bird back, realizing he's on a journey almost exactly like hers. That what he couldn't do with magic, he did with guilt.
I definitely thought that was a possibility. It seems to me he's wasting a lot of energy right now.
Yeah, but they've already kind of covered that the War of Attrition thing isn't what he's playing at.
マジで1分持たねえぞ
結界解析どういうこと
フリーレンまさか
Oh, she's gonna drop the barrier.
I just don't know what that would help.
Because it's raining.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. Sometimes I do talk over shit.
問題ない。ありえないことだ。天地がひっくり返って。
It's also why I wouldn't win in games like, in worlds like this. I wouldn't even consider the rain, even though we're talking about a person who uses water.
That's a crazy visual.
And that's when Sylvanas defeated the Lich King.
勇者一行の魔法使いと同じ名だ。
それに彼女は正常の証を持っていたらしい。
最後の大魔法使いか。
やってくれたな、フリーレン。1000年ぶりだというのに随分な挨拶じゃないか。これだから魔法使いはやめられない。魔法の世界では天地がひっくり返ることもある。
And with this soundtrack, you'd think this was the last episode.
I know.
こんなことを。
カンネがかわいそうだったからね。魔法は自由であるべきだ。
水を操る魔法使いか。
魔法はイメージの世界だ。水を操る魔法使いに雨の中で勝てるイメージができる。少なくとも私はできない。
I don't know.
リヒターってやつも同じだよ。
Richter controls rocks, but does he control mud?
雨だ。
いや、状況確認など後回しだ。一刻も早くとどめろ。
やっと隙を見せやがったな。焦って魔力が乱れてるぜ。
この程度の時間稼ぎ。
今ならわかるぜ。お前が水を操る魔法を恐れた理由が。こいつはお前の言った物質による圧倒的な質量攻撃そのものだ。
ラビーネ、逃がさないようにね。リームシュトローア。
もともと逃げ場なんてないだろう。
Man, it's fucking Spirit Bomb.
だから水が嫌いなんだ。
Well, at least it broke away. I was worried she was just gonna hold it over him and just like drown him inside it. Like they just did it
Yes.
to him and her.
勝てたみたいだね。早くここから離れよう。日没まで2時間だけど、それまで魔力消せるよね。
消せるも何も魔力切れだよ。
そう、よく頑張った。
なでんの。
That's what Frieren usually says.
やむをえんさ。
俺も電源も魔力切れ。あと2時間だ。もう終わりだな。
ラオフェン、高速を解けるか。
冗談。すごい魔力だよ、この高速。
なら木の方だ。叩き折れ。
Yep.
電源もう無理だ。
You're talking about she can blink. That's faster than the speed of sound.
リヒター、ラオフェン。こういう時宮廷魔法使いならどうすると思う？
Cheat.
最後まで醜くあがくんだ。他のパーティーの戦闘の痕跡を探してたどるぞ。
フェルンさ、あんたほんとつまんないよね。マジで基礎的な魔法しか使ってないじゃん。
それはフリーレン様に言ってください。
そういえばあのエルフ、あんたの師匠だっけ？あいつのせいでびしょ濡れになっちゃったからさ、ちゃんと叱っといてよね。
そのつもりです。それに戦闘魔法以外だったら制限されていませんよ。
そういえば鳥を捕まえる魔法使ってたっけ？他にどんな魔法使えるの？
There's gotta be some only using the basic spells in combat.
見える魔法とか使いませんよ。
We did talk about that one in the extras. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
That's one of the two. So it is the Chunin exams.
ごめんね。でもメガネ君はもう少し打ち解けてもよかったと思うよ。
I'll tell you how I work. You'll use it against me.
いたぞ。配送したパーティーだ。少し離れたところに仲間の死体があった。合格の道はもうないというのに、シュティリだけは大事に抱えておるわ。
交渉でもするのか、電気。
王人だろう。仮にわしが奴らの立場なら、金を積まれたって。
I don't know. Seems like it could.
なんで
You've got the resources. Offer to give their friend a burial or something.
こういうのは理屈じゃない。
Mm-hmm.
ラオフェンはここで待機だ。
It's clearly what they care about and why they're still holding on.
リヒター、ついてこい。
どうするつもりだ？
He gonna bluff him.
Real disappointed if this turns into a fist fight.
もう魔力なんか残っちゃいないぞ。
わかっているだろう。それは相手も同じこと。
Well, he put it down. He can blink in and get it down.
腹をくくれ。男だろうが。
おい、冗談だろ。
It's a fist fight.
殴り合いじゃ。
Yep.
What did I tell you? I know this fucking show already.
And he went for the uppercut.
Literally, though, he put down the bird. The other girl could have just jumped in and got it right there.
Yep.
Dead.
時間だな。
So that party's not more than willing to kill,
現
apparently.
時刻をもって第一次試験を終了とする。第一次試験合格者は計6パーティー18名。第二次試験は3日後だ。詳細については追って通達する。
So from 57 down to 36.
解散。
No, down to 18.
6 parties. 6 parties of 3. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think I was thinking 6 parties of 5.
苦労してんだな。
Which would have been 30. I was still them wrong. That's good to catch up that Stark's still hanging around the area. Would have been nice if Sign
100%.
was with him, though.
Sign's doing his thing, man. Sign's following clues.
Yeah, I know. People in the comments explained it too. Doesn't mean I'm happy with it. Again, it's not. I don't know. Imagine
one day you'll get your sign, you know?
Imagine, yeah, well, I don't know. You live in Canada, don't you? So that doesn't even apply to you. I don't even know if you're thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Here's your sign, the old Southern jokes.
I just said something and then didn't think about it in the process.
Bob Ingvall, I think his name was. Here's your sign, where you ask stupid questions or things like that. And someone said, "Here's your sign."
That thing. Sure, why not?
Anyway, I think it probably would have been good if Stark was in the competition. You know, just as a fake mage, try and ride off of Frieren's holy symbol. Because, you know, the magic users all do this shit, and then they run out of mana, and in here you have Stark, who can take out a dragon barehanded.
It would have been interesting.
Well, I mean, especially when we just reached the whole fist fight at the end. I think the fist fight was unnecessary. The moment that they got up to fight you, they put the bird down, and you got the blink person who still had mana.
ご安心ください、フリーレン様。
私より甘やかされてんじゃん。
食べんといかんぞ。
めんどくせえ、俺たちはもうパーティーじゃない。
次からは敵同士だな。
So I think it's going to be an information gathering episode, but it also involves
Agreed.
Frieren talking to Fern and realizing that they're going to be opponents or something in section 2, which again is literally what I told you was going to happen if this was Chunin exams. They literally took one of the top 3 combat or one of the top 3 tournament arcs and ported it over to Frieren. I guess technically it's also sort of part of the demon tournament from Yu Yu Hakusho. If you just jumped right into the tournament part.
I think, yeah, I definitely think that's like a clear like sign of like, hey, this next part, we might have to fight.
I mean, obviously, I don't think anyone's taking out Frieren. So for them to not fight would literally have to be Fern gets taken out at some point.
Yeah, which I think is gonna happen.
Because otherwise, it's going to come down to who do you think wins between Frieren and Fern. Frieren, obviously, unless Frieren does that thing of like the fight starts and then they surrender immediately. Because Frieren doesn't care and Fern does.
I don't know.
That's the only way I see that playing out. If the Frieren and Fern get into a fight, Frieren gives up because Frieren cares about Fern. Frieren doesn't care about this. Remember, Frieren didn't even want to do this. Fern made her.
It's true. It's true. I could also see it going. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I could see it going throughout the next arc or like the next stage. Fern subtly sting a couple spells in a way that surprises Frieren.
No.
Because all she's really been teaching her is the basics.
You're saying surprises Frieren, but I'm thinking I'm going the other way with this then. This is the Anakin Obi-Wan fight from Star Wars. You teach them all they know, but you leave a little bit back for yourself. If there's going to be a surprise, it ain't coming from Fern. Frieren's going to pull out something that she hadn't shown before.
I think we've seen Frieren's surprise, which is how actually powerful she is with this, with the bubble being fucking shattered.
Well, that's specialty magic. I know what this spell is. I'll defeat it. That's all most of Frieren's magic secrets things are. I know the exact spell. I just don't see it being a serious thing. Literally, if Frieren wanted to win, or Fern wanted, well, I think if Frieren wanted to win, she'd do the, alright, I'm casting I can see through your clothes spell, and Fern would freak the fuck out. Whereas I think Fern could cast the I can see through your clothes spell on Frieren, and Frieren wouldn't care. It's like, oh, kind of like that kind of elixir I used to have that you threw away.
Yep. Yeah, no, I think you're correct with that.
I said there's too many ways for this to go Frieren's way, but I think at the end of the day, Frieren doesn't care and knows Fern does, and would just surrender before anything.
Or it could very much be the case where Frieren knows she can't beat the person at the top because her teacher was her teacher, and she's trying to train Fern how to handle her.
I don't think that you have to fight Siri at the end of this. And also, I believe that Frieren has confidence in those underneath her. So I don't think that she's going to think Fern can't beat anybody. Literally, we had Richter versus the two, and she's like, I've been mentoring these people for 5 minutes. They're going to win.
I'm not saying that Frieren thinks that Fern can't beat Siri. I think that Frieren knows that Frieren can't beat Siri.
No. I'm saying I don't think Siri. I don't think you have to fight Siri at the end of this. That seems like a crazy notion. That'd be like, okay, this is the end of the presidential fitness test. Now go fight the president. You know, that seems like a crazy notion.
Hey, it's a possibility. Even down the road after that.
I think literally it's if we're in the Chunin example, then we are at the part where the teams have to fight one another. Not teams. We're in the part in the Forest of Death where all the teams that survived this far are gathered, and then they do one-on-one combats, and then the winners of that go on to a later one where they do one-on-one combats in front of an entire arena full of people that are watching, and then they're being judged on their combat abilities and whatnot. And that's the one where even you can still win and be deemed not worthy of progressing. Or you can lose and still be deemed worthy of progressing. That happens in the tuning exams too. The losers show such... There's a dude who basically does a stalemate for the entire fight. Like, he sits back, looks like he's lost the entire fight, then does a stalemate where they both walk out with their hands up in the middle of the air because he's taking control of their body, and then does a I surrender because basically the whole I'm out of mana thing. I surrender. And they're like, this dude played it so tactically brilliantly that even though he lost, that's the kind of mind that we want. Not only does he get the rank to Chunin, he gets Genin. He goes 2 ranks up. It was so fucking brilliant, and he lost.
If that's the case, who do you think Fern's fight coming up is, and who do you think Frieren's is then?
Who do I think their what is?
Who do you think their opponents are going to be? Because it's obviously not going to be them against each other in this next round.
It might be. I mean, we don't know. We don't know how the deciding factor is. Like, they're going to do a random poll, or they're going to form like a bracket. We don't know. Also, there's too many people that we don't know. There was 6 teams, right? There's 18 people. We only know 9 of them. We know that 3 of them were walking away from a bunch of dead bodies, so we know that they were willing to kill. So that means we, even though we don't know who those 3 were, we've seen them. That's 12 out of 18. Applying 2 other teams we're not familiar with.
The only one I think I can safely predict is versus Denken.
Which would be... Sorry, all I heard you say was Denken. If you said another name, I didn't hear it.
I did. Fern versus Denken.
I don't know why that would be 100% a matchup.
Because we saw how Denken fared against Frieren, and now I think we're going to see him versus her protege.
I don't know. It seems more likely to be Wrapup versus Denken. Because they're like the leaders of the other 2 teams, and we didn't see those teams fight. And though it's no longer teams, it's individual anyway, so... Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's worth... The only thing I can think of here is that if they did a bracket, then you and me could individually fill out the bracket and see if we could do like a whole gambling thing, right? The thing,
if it's a bracket, absolutely.
Well, it's like people who I've watch Naruto for the very first time, right? The bracket is made, you can bet on it, and it's like, okay, I like to watch them try and figure out who's going to win and bet on the whole bracket thing. Like watching... I'm sorry, I'm not a sports guy, so I don't know what it is in like basketball or whatever where they do the whole bracket thing and you gamble on it. But if they show us a bracket, I am 100% in on making that bracket on like a concept board, and then you and me just going for it. Like, here's who I think is going to win each individual thing. Okay, well, I don't even know this person's name. I don't care. I'm betting on question mark to win this play. That's against question mark.
It's true. It's true.
I'm a gamer.
Could be a good time.
All right. Well, any other final thoughts about this episode?
No. I think we've gone over everything.
All right, then let's say it's time for us to get into the magical secrets. I think next to last one.
早々のフリーレン、〇〇の魔法。
語尾が変な風になる魔法。
Okay.
なんか変わった魔法の魔導書を見つけた。
I'm feeling attacked.
語尾が変な風になる魔法？みんな同じになるのか？
わかんない。
面白いじゃないですか。ちょっとやってみましょうよ。喋ってみて最初に笑った人が負け。その語尾を1週間続けるというのはどうですか？
いいじゃないか。望むところだ。さあ、どうなるのか楽しみだにゃん。
ヒンメル、ニャンはさすがに恥ずかしいぞい。
フリーレンこそなかなかですぽー。
Damn, it's one of those foreign language games I'll never understand.
こいつはやばい。
フリーレンとハイターはなんとかいける。
ヒンメルはまだしもハイターのはちょっと危ない。
今のところ私のが一番強烈。
Wow,
このままなら
okay.
勝てる。ただ全ては愛禅次第。3人とも今日の晩飯は何がいいんだっちゃ？
Okay.
Okay, when they said sentence enters, I didn't think it was like, you know, cutesy thing that they do sometimes in anime. I thought it was
Yeah.
like some awkward like thing said at the end of a sentence.
So did I. I get what they were going for there, and it had its effect, but it was that one was strange.
It was so unexpected that I don't know. I couldn't take it anywhere. So I was trying to figure out what was happening as it was happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. It immediately makes me think of I can't remember the comedian's name. He's a British comedian, and one of his jokes is how he always wants to reform the ice after in like when he's mingling in like a party or something. He doesn't want. He took all that time breaking the ice. He didn't want somebody else to just come in, so he throws in something awkward or different. Like, oh well, it's time to go. All right. Remember, we all die in the end. Walks away. You know? Death comes for us all.
That's so good and so bad at the same time.
I was going to say it's something awkward. It's an awkward sentence ender is what I was expecting. Which I guess just, you know, it's a random thing. I didn't know it was going to be a yeah or whatever.
I don't expect that to be the other spell that gets used.
I think the implication is it was see-through clothing and oil. Well, because at least the see-through clothing one was mentioned in the episode. I think that might be all that was required. I mean,
Fair enough.
The thing is that we know some of their spells that they use requires words, because they say the words and the thing happens. So forcing people to say extra words might screw up your spells, right?
Wow. That's some big brain thinking.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many magic systems use specific words. Like D&D, right? You have verbal component spells that require that sort of thing. So muting those people obviously stops the spell. I remember once I played in a custom roleplay Ultima Online server where magic was 4 different words you have to say in a specific order, where each part of the spell, like one was like element, so like a specific word for fire. One was distance or close up, so you had to say that to determine that. One was like ranged, and the other one was effect. So you had to say all these words in a very specific order in order to make the spell work. So adding an extra word in there, or even a text to the last word, would ruin the spell. So that kind of thing.
I never thought of that. That is actually very possible.
But again, we don't know, and they seem to use like one word things. So like, I don't know. I don't know, and I'm pretty sure we've already gotten the 2 that I know are supposed to happen in the show. So
yeah. All right.
All right. Well, any final thoughts for today then?
No. I'm just excited. I like how this arc is going so far.
Yeah, like I said, Chunin Exam's top 3 tournament arcs in all of anime. And it looks like we're recreating that instead of ninjas, but with magic. So yeah, cool. I guess that's it for us today, though. This is our three back-to-back episodes.
Indeed.
I have been Theta. This has been Justin. We've been Stone-Faced Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?